What's up, gang? Coach Ashley here, bringing you the workout for Thursday, April 30th. We've got a pretty core heavy day, both in the workout and in the strength. So to kind of start this day, along with the warm up that we have for you, I thought it also might be a little bit helpful just to kind of stretch out those ab muscles, those hip flexor muscles a little bit before you get into the day. So, along with that warm up or any stretching you're doing on your own, I think the couch stretch might be an awesome stretch. Maybe some cat cows, a little bit of up dog. If you have a lacrosse ball at home, you can even kind of put that in your lower abs, kind of in the front of your hip, and just sort of loosen that up. That might be a good idea for today, both before and maybe even a little bit afterwards, because today's got a lot of core stuff going on. So we're gonna start the day today with the workout. So we've got 3 different 5-minute AMRAPs, each with 90 seconds of rest in between. And in your 5-minute AMRAP, you're just gonna alternate between 2 movements. So you're gonna start with 10 total single arm devil's press, and then you're gonna go to 20 total leg lift overs. So last time we did leg lift overs, we did them with burpees and snatches, I think, and people were surprised kind of at how tricky they are. They get tiring really fast, like in your core, in your hip flexors. They're really kind of awesome movement. So just sort of be ready for that. Maybe you want to try to do 10, take a quick break, and then finish your 10. The reps are pretty low, so you are going to go through this quite a few times in your 5 minutes. But that doesn't mean that you don't want to kind of be thoughtful about pacing it out, knowing that you have 3 different 5-minute AMRAPs to get through, and 90 seconds isn't an incredibly long amount of time to kind of rest and recover. So I would say take that first round, feel it out. You can always pick up the pace in those last 2 AMRAPs, but definitely don't come out of the gate too hot on this one. You're gonna fry your core before we get to those last couple rounds. So let's go through those 2 movements really quick, and then we'll get you started on this workout. Starting with the single arm devil's press, I'm going to show you 2 versions. So the first one, I'm swinging the dumbbell up overhead and then bringing it down to my shoulder to switch hands. For some of us, that's just a little bit easier. But then I'm going to get into a few reps where I'm just switching the dumbbell in my hands on the way down, so without bringing it down to my shoulder. So whatever feels most comfortable for you is fine. But that single arm devil's press, basically just a burpee with a dumbbell in one hand. You're going to hop up and then swing it overhead just like you would a kettlebell swing. And then I'm alternating arms each time. So making sure when you hop up, just keeping those hips down so you can use your hips, your hamstrings to swing up overhead. Then we've got those leg lift overs. So I'm going to show you that the more you kind of lean back, the easier it is. And then the further you bring your hands closer to your toes, the more difficult it is. But basically just going up and over your dumbbell back and forth until you've reached 20. Right, guys, so all right, guys, so we'll give you a minute to kind of catch your breath, grab a drink, kind of loosen up if you need a minute before we get into our accessory piece for today, kind of like our strength for the day. And it's just going to be 2 rounds. I say just, but I really shouldn't because I think this is going to be harder than it looks. But 2 rounds. It's going to start with a 30-second side plank on your left. Then we'll go into a minute of flutter kicks. We'll do a 30-second side plank on your right, a minute of scissor kicks, and then you get 1 minute of rest in between before you go into that second round. And so you're just gonna need a continuous clock running for this one. So do your best to hang in there for the whole minute, the whole 30 seconds. If you need to come out of it really quick, like let's say you make it through 25 seconds on your flutter kick, you need to come down for 10 seconds and then hop right back in, that's fine. You don't need to stop your time. Just kind of let it keep going. And this should be a pretty good little core piece for today. If any of you have ever tried the CFP core complex, it has like 12 seconds of a bunch of different moves. And you look at it and you're like, oh, sure, I could do 12 seconds of hollow hold and 12 seconds of crunches, no big deal. But then you kind of get to that like 4th movement and very quickly you get a little fried. So I have a feeling that's how this one's going to feel. So a little bit of mental toughness, trying to hang on for a full minute or a full 30 seconds for this core piece. So I'll show you really quick kind of what those look like, but it's pretty straightforward and we'll get you right into it. All right, so starting with a side plank, hand on your hip, hand in the air, whatever feels most comfortable. You can even try to lift that top leg a little bit just to make it a little bit more challenging, but just nice and tight throughout, making sure that you have a strong shoulder pushing into the ground. So don't let yourself kind of slouch into that shoulder, but a nice strong shoulder position for your plank. Then for both your flutter kicks and your scissor kicks, the goal here is to keep yourself in that nice hollow position. So toes are nice and low, not too high in the air, certainly not towards your face, and then just trying to keep that hollow position. It's really easy in both of these movements just to kind of arch your back a little bit and get out of that position. But the goal here, right, is to try to maintain that hollow position. So even though your shoulders are on the ground, make sure you've got that lower back in the ground, staying in that nice position, and then you're just moving your legs in these little tiny movements.